somebody was just calling to check in on how things are going, and I shared a little bit of this, and they made me aware that, even though he may be disengaging very often, it wasn't, the tools they said was, be there for him, show him that you haven't given up on him. And I felt very energized, so I, re-engaged, and I think we may have had, in fact, that probably gave me the courage to actually, not courage, but motivated me to at our next meeting to actually talk about our own relationship. Mm-hmm. And I said, let me just get real and ask him what is he getting out of it. Since then, when I just said, well, clearly, he knows I'm here, and but I've now sort of just eased off on it. Since then, I haven't been in touch with anyone. Now, in terms of getting tools for mentoring, I guess I haven't asked for them only because my work, my current academic and professional work is very much in training mentors and creating mentoring programs within faculty. I do leadership programming. So this is actually my world. So I haven't needed or sought out more in tools. Every so often it's been nice to be reminded, but I do feel the mentee needs to take at least one step forward towards the relationship. And without that, it's not probably the best use of either of our time. Right. And it becomes a bit, it doesn't have the uplifting quality that a mentoring relationship needs.
Right. And so that was another question that I was going to ask. And, I certainly don't want to put words in your mouth, but just hearing, what you were talking about, now understanding that this is an area that you actually study and you work in.
Yes. Yes.
Would you, it doesn't sound to me like this experience has been all that fulfilling for you.
Correct.
So are you open to more mentorships with, taking on another mentee, or?
Well, I absolutely would. Clyde marches to his own drum. That's the metaphor I was trying to think of it. And I think he'll succeed. He's one of a kind, and I think he'll go far. But I would absolutely be open to another. In fact, I sort of, if I'm interrupting myself, but one of the things Greenhouse Scholars does is every maybe a couple of times a year they organize a meeting of mentors in Atlanta. And I went to one of them and sort of felt a little like an outlier because everybody had so much to say about their mentee. And I didn't feel that relationship. And I also, and I may be preempting a question later, but in that one meeting of mentors that was arranged, I did not feel that there was a good relationship fostered between the mentors themselves. Mm-hmm. I went there hoping that, wow, we are this group, and whoever convenes us is going to really help us build a relationship amongst ourselves. And I found it few of the people knew each other already. They talked amongst themselves. It was in a very noisy restaurant, so it was hardly possible to hear each other. I just felt I was sitting there and constantly looking at my watch and said, when do I get out? There was a little bit of self-introduction. Then it was noisy. People started side conversations. I really, I just felt there was no connection, at least for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know what other ways people know each other. Maybe they've been getting together in other venues. So since then, I've not attended any other, I've declined to attend any other mentor events in Atlanta, both because of my relationship to my mentee hasn't been that fulfilling, and that little get-together they had was not as, it wasn't, I didn't get anything out of it. I just